I heard a story once of a guy who was one of the kids from New Zealand who was a street fighter. And he says, yeah, every time it gets cold and wet, you know, I got this, I can't remember where it was, you know, I got this injury and it really comes back to me. And he said, that was from a fight I thought I'd won 20 years ago. You know, so the idea of where we're going and what conflict does and the cost of conflict in our lives, as opposed to the power of just entering with a little confidence, having a little more strength so that you really come from more of a place of wanting to help people rather than prove something or beat them or fear it and then the compensatory reactions. I'll add in a story I was telling about a guy who was to stay just in a business realm with us. Just you get into one of those things with another driver where they start, you know, doing that, and finally, you know, they get in this place and he says he pulls over and, you know, has the guy pull over, and the guy pulls over, and he says just right at that moment it caught him. He kind of saw what he was doing. And he stopped and he did basically what you're describing. He just started to talk to the guy about what was going on, and they went out for a beer together. Push me back against that wall. So we could stay here for a long time. One of us might dominate. Come on, come on. But there is a spirit that allows us a whole different set of relationships here. And that's what he left us, was how do we take that potential waste of all our energy into who's right and who's wrong, or who wins and who loses, and take it into a place where we look for peaceful reconciliation, some way to take the energy and make something positive out of it. So that's kind of where I'm going with it, all right? And just like you were ukaying for me before, okay? All right? So he was, you know, he was not being easy. He wasn't going to go if I didn't get him, right? And he was, you know, challenging me a little bit to say, come, let's make sure we're really here together. And thank you. And the challenge, of course, is do I take that feedback to say, you know what, I could be in a better place? Because when you get in an argument with someone or a fight, you know, you may not be able to convince them. You may not even get to a place where they'll listen to you or be reasonable. But if you're here with them about it, then back to my friend in New Zealand, you know, 20 years later, you're still going to be carrying it. You know, it's from a fight that he thought he'd won. He was still hurting. Whereas if you understand that this is the process, you may convince them, you may not, you may help them, you may not. They may even get more adamant about where they are, but you will live in a different world. So make your choices.